اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأذن في الناس بالحج يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق ليشهدوا منافع لهم ويذكروا اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام فكلوا منها وأطعموا البائس الفقير ثم ليقضوا تفثهم وليوفوا نذورهم وليطوفوا بالبيت العتيق. صدق الله العظيم.
Hajj pilgrimage is a season of compassion and fraternization, a time of serenity and peacefulness. Hajj pilgrimage is a gathering of mercy, sympathy and harmony. Do we truly represent that? The following scenes illustrate some of the suffering the pilgrims go through while heading towards the stoning area because of pushing and trampling. That was the case before the development of that area was carried out. The main reason for the trampling was the flow of pilgrims from many different directions towards the Jamrat Bridge, arriving at one entrance to perform the stoning ritual immediately after sundown, instead of delaying it for 2 or 3 hours. This happens particularly on the 12th day of Dhul Hijjah. Therefore, the Saudi government, under the patronage of the custodian of the 2 holy mosques and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, decided to develop the Jamrat Bridge and the surrounding area in order to prevent the frequent accidents, to increase the capacity of the bridge and to organize the flow of pilgrims by building more entrances and exit at different levels and in many areas. This development is an enormous improvement that ensures the highest standards of safety, security and comfort to all pilgrims who come to the sacred house of God. The development process started 3 years ago when the ground, first and second floor were successfully built thanks to the grace of Allah the Almighty. This year there will be a new and important addition, the 3rd floor, which will be the 4th level in the new Jamrat development. The levels of the new development in this year's Hajj season will be used as follows. The ground floor will accommodate pilgrims coming from the Mina camps through Al-Johara Street, Souk Al-Arab and New Street to perform the stoning rite. They will return through the routes located to the north and south of the Jamrat area. The first floor will receive pilgrims coming from the southern shaded pedestrian route from Mina through the southern ramp of the first floor. The northern ramp will allow entry for pilgrims coming from Western Shuaib, Eastern Shuaib and the New Street. Another part of the first floor accommodates the pilgrims coming from Al-Muaysem pedestrian road through the northern ramp of the first floor. The return path will be through the routes located to the north and south of the Jamrat area. The second floor serves the pilgrims coming from the direction of Al-Shasha, Al-Adhal, Rais Siddiqui in Holy Mecca, and those coming from other directions through the bus stations in the northwest and southwest of the Jamrat. This floor has 2 entrance ramps. One is located in the northwest of Jamrat and another in the southwest of Jamrat. A third acts as an exit ramp to the west yard towards Holy Mecca. This, the second level, ensures a full separation of the pilgrims' movement from the west side of Holy Mecca from those coming from the east side, which is Mina, so that each flow is in a totally separate level. For the elderly and special needs pilgrims ascending to the second floor, special electric cars, shown in this picture, take them to the minor Jamra at the level of the second floor to perform the stoning rite. The third floor has two ramps, which serve the pilgrims, one coming from Al-Shuaybin and one from Al-Mu'asim. Another one serves the Majah al-Kabsh camps. The ramp to the third floor starts from King Fahad Street at the entrance behind Iskan buildings and leads directly to the third floor. A part of the pedestrian street, Al-Mu'asim, shall be diverted to this ramp along with King Fahad Road. The third floor also serves the eastern area and King Fahad Street through 4 flights of stairs and 4 escalators. 2 sets are located in the eastern Jamarat area. The first is to the north and the second is at the south of the area. The remaining 2 are situated on King Fahad Road. Pilgrims exit the third floor through 7 stair towers containing both stairs and escalators. 3 towers are located at the northwest of Al-Jamarat area. The other 4 are located in the middle of the western area of Al-Jamarat. The return to camps will be along the designated routes to the north and south of the western area. For the safety of pilgrims, we urge all pilgrims and tawafa to cooperate fully with the authorities represented by police officers, organisers and time schedule controllers. We also urge everyone to follow the instructions and rules, in particular those related to time schedules for grouping pilgrims when they perform the stoning ritual. The safety of all pilgrims is our main objective. We shall achieve that, God willing, through working together, hand in hand. For the safety of all pilgrims on the way to Al-Jamarat, on the return routes towards the camps and those leading to the Holy Mosque, we urge you to follow these instructions. Pilgrims should follow the routes designated by the operating committee of the Jamrat facility, because the best and shortest route was set for each camp in a detailed and clear manner. The return route was also set along the perimeters of the squares for those going back to Mina. We shall make sure this year to keep the routes to and from the Jamarat flowing one way only. Dear pilgrim, we urge you to follow the instructions of the guides, the schedule controllers and the police officers, as they will guide you through the correct route to and from the Jamarat according to your designated timetable. Dear pilgrim, adhering to the instructions displayed on the coloured boards will, if followed exactly, save you, God willing, from possible catastrophes. Dear pilgrim, avoid peak hours by following the time set in your schedule. Your safety is our main concern. The period of stoning extends till the dusk of the 12th day. Stoning 2 or 3 hours after sunset ensures comfort and safety for you and your fellow pilgrims. Dear pilgrim, following the instructions and time schedules for the grouping and dispatching of pilgrims will, by the grace of God, lead to the same extraordinarily civilized and safe outcome of the Hajj seasons 1427 and 1428, compared with previous years, which were a disgrace to all Muslims. The Prophet, peace be upon him, commended simplicity in performing the Hajj rituals and urged pilgrims to adhere to tranquility, modesty, and serenity during these holy days. Whenever the Prophet was asked about anything regarding the ceremonies of Hajj, his reply was, "Do it, and there is no harm." The time schedules of grouping pilgrims this season will be monitored to ensure full adherence by all pilgrims and tawafa. Official uniformed inspectors, appointed by the Ministry of Pilgrimage and supported by the police force, will observe and monitor the grouping and dispatching of pilgrims. Pilgrims not complying with their designated timetable will be forced to return to their camps immediately. Therefore, all pilgrims are urged not to waste their time and be subjected to punishment. Pilgrims are advised to follow the designated timings of their groups in order to ensure their safety. Please show sympathy for pilgrims with excuses, especially children, the sick, and people with special needs. Spare them hardship and danger. Let us all remember that Tawqil, deputizing for pilgrims with excuses, does not deprive us of any ajr. Dear pilgrim, do not take your belongings with you while heading for the stoning, as it could be dangerous and could endanger your life and other Muslims' lives as well. Pilgrims are not allowed to carry their belongings on the way to the Jamarat. Do not attempt to sleep on the ground in the Jamrat squares or on the routes. Their design this year does not leave pilgrims any room to sleep, as that would block the way, cause congestion, and could compromise lives. Follow the leader and the guide of your group, and to ensure your safety, do not part from the group while stoning. The appropriate authorities are obliged to enforce strict punishment on any pilgrim, guide, tawafa, or organizer violating the directives. 3 frequent bus routes are provided this year to facilitate the movement of pilgrims staying in camps far from the Jamarat at the end of Muzdalifah, the western and eastern Shab, and those residing in Holy Mecca. The first bus route transports pilgrims from the Jamarat Square and Al-Muassem to the bus station in the vicinity of the second floor ramp in the northwest side. It then returns them to their camps after performing their rites along a dedicated, separate route to ensure a fast departure and return. The second bus route departs from Al-Aziziyah in Holy Mecca in the vicinity of the Sheikh Abdullah Al-Khayat crossing with King Khalid Road into the bus station located close to the second floor ramp in the northwest side of the Jamrat Square. The return trip follows the same route. The third bus line is designated to serve the pilgrims residing in the camps at the end of Muzdalifah, departing from the Dakam al-Wabar onto the Jamarat, and returning along the same route through King Abdulaziz Road. We hope that these 3 lines help the pilgrims, especially the sick and the elderly, by sparing them a long walk. It will also contribute, God willing, to reducing the congestion in the streets and to channeling the flow of pilgrims within the available floors, especially the second one. We hope that all pilgrims and tawafa will use these means to minimize both overcrowding in the streets and hardship for pilgrims. Dear pilgrims, tawafa and guides, we ask you with love and sincerity that you work with us hand in hand to repeat the successes that, with God's will, we achieved in past years. This way we can ensure your safety and put behind us for good the unfortunate incidents that occurred at Jamarat in the past.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحج أشهر معلومات، فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج، وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله، وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى، واتقوني يا أولي الألباب.
We ask Allah the Almighty that all cooperate and work hand in hand to benefit the new facilities provided by the government of the custodian of the 2 holy mosques for a safe, and secure pilgrimage. His Royal Highness Prince Mitteb bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, Minister of Municipal and Rural Affairs, President of the Development of Holy Mecca, Al-Medina Al-Munawwara and Sacred Places, wishes you an accepted pilgrimage and forgiven sins. The Central Administration of Development Projects, Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs.